Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. And today's episode is brought to you by my books, How to Ex Your Ex, A Guide to Getting Past Unhealthy Relationships, and Single Woman Chronicles, an Atlanta love story, kinda. And I don't know why I'm out of breath, probably because I was holding it by mistake. But you can pick these books up at Amazon, Audible. You know, we put S on the end of Audibles. I mean me. I mean Audible. Y'all know what I mean. You know, black people stay putting S on the end of stuff like Kroger, Audible. I don't know. We just be putting S on the end of stuff that don't belong. But yeah. Anyway, you can pick it up at Amazon, Audible, books on Google Play, as well as Apple Books. So yeah, that's where you can find it. No, but seriously, like, why am I out of breath? I just sat here and told y'all things. Like, I don't see how rappers do it. Like, rappers be rapping and they have to keep. It's hard. It is hard. Everyone think they can do it. You can't. Even speakers like pastors. When you hear pastors do stuff like, because they got to keep it going. They got to keep the momentum. They got to keep the breath. And singers, especially singers who be dancing and singing. Shout out to Beyonce. Shout out to Chris Brown. Shout out to Janet Jackson. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Like, shout out to all those people because Lord have mercy. I'm just sitting here. I'm already out of breath. Like, why? Just why? All right. Today's episode is like a bit of a more so getting things off my chest because I really, after last week and being so drained from that experience, go back and watch Dating with Celibacy. The Struggle is Real. I really wanted to talk about what I'm talking about today, last week, because it too was fresh, but that situation happened and I felt the need to touch on it. So now I'm circling back. So today's episode is this is your sign to chase your dreams, okay? All right. So let's get into some vulnerable things about me and just about my journey of chasing my own dreams, really living for my passion and not living for society, which is living for money and attention and status, right? So chasing dreams be hard. I'ma just keep it real. Like, when you're passionate about something, especially when it's something that is not a practical career, people look at you like you're crazy because they feel like the thing that you really want to do, especially if it's like of the arts, like you want to draw, or you want to write, or you want to sing, or you want to rap, or you want to do poetry, things of that nature. A lot of people don't see that as a real thing. Like, they don't feel like you can make money off of that. They feel like you need to get a quote unquote real job. So anyone who's ever pursued something that wasn't practical, I'm pretty sure they've heard you need to get a real job, or people laugh at or joke about the thing that you do. They minimize it or make fun of it because they don't understand it, right? So chasing your dreams is really tough, and it's it's hard, but it's also hard not to. Like, it's hard to chase it, but it's also hard not to chase your dreams. So it's kind of like pick your heart, right? So I'm just here to encourage people who have a dream, they have something in their heart, but they're so attached to the end goal of it, or wondering how can I make money off of this thing, that they refuse to chase it because of fear, because of influences on the outside, because of just feeling like they can't, lack, self-doubt and all these things. And I'm here to encourage you because trust me, I overstand. Like, I freaking overstand, right? So, bit about my story. I've been self-employed now since 2016. If you don't know, I do hair on the side while I chase the dream of writing full time. That is my goal, to do what I do with you guys full time, like do speaking engagements, coach. I have a master's in positive psychology. I'm a trained life coach, write more books, eventually write a television show, because I actually have written a script for one already. Like I have a pilot episode already in my computer that I've written. Like I have a lot of dreams and aspirations, and God has given me the flexibility to do hair because honestly, I never saw myself doing hair. It was kind of just something that fell into my lap because God was providing manna. Because if you think about the Israelites, you know, I'm always touch back to biblical because I'm a whole life, like I'm a Christian, y'all. I follow Christ. I'm not religious. Like I ain't the whole you do this, you go to hell because that's Old Testament. I'm very like built on relationship. My relationship with God, we like this. I'm not perfect, but I'm faithful. God marks you as faithful. I mean, God marks you righteous by your faithfulness, not by your works. Okay? Literally, a lot of people don't understand that. That's why a lot of people leave the church because they feel like you have to be perfect, and that's not true. God don't say that. That's not in the Bible. And if it was in the Bible, it's in the Old Testament. And guess what? Eliminated the Old Testament, the New Testament, when Jesus died on the cross. Sorry I had to minister that to y'all, but I know a lot of people who get so caught up and they leave the church and don't want to talk about God and want to do these other religions and crystals and all that stuff like that because they don't have the right understanding. And I value giving people that understanding. So if you want more, hit me up. I'll go. Like, I'll send you some scripture, child. Like, I'm with it. I don't even know how I got over here, but it needed to be said. But anyway, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, so I've been self-employed and, you know, God gave me manna, which was hair. So a lot of people don't understand. The thing about manna is when manna fell from the sky for the Israelites. So if you don't know the story, God brought the Israelites out of Egypt and they were in the wilderness, and that's the desert. So you couldn't really plant vegetation. Like it's the desert. Like you have nothing to eat, right? So God would rain down this thing called manna from heaven. And he did that literally up until they crossed over into the land that he promised them, right? So God literally did not stop raining down this bread from heaven until Joshua took hold of the new land, the land of milk and honey, where they could actually go and get their own food, make their own food. But the thing about manna is it's not done when it falls down from heaven. They still had to prepare it. So the reason here for me, I see it as manna is because although like I would love for somebody to come through and pay my bills and everything to be taken care of, no, God gave me hair. He gave me a business. He gave me something to do because again, it literally fell in my lap. Like I was never the girl to do her hair. I was the girl who was paying $400, $500, $600 to get her hair done like every other week. I know I was crazy. I wish I could get that money back, but I can't. It's water under the bridge, whatever. But that just wasn't who I was, and God put that in my lap. And since then, like I've been on this journey of trying to pursue this thing full time. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I done quit 11 times. Like I done quit so many times, but like every time I attempt to quit, God sends somebody in my DM like your book changed my life, or your post I read your post and oh my God, I'm crying, it helped me, or you know, your podcast, I can't believe you said that. That was right on time. So I'm just saying this right now so you guys can continue to pursue your dreams because I'm here with you. Like I am here with you. I understand. And if you're at that point in your life where you're like, I want to chase my dream, but I don't know where to start, just take the first step. Like, just take one step forward. That could just be saying, I'm going to do it and actually committing to do it. You know what I mean? Because the thing about the whole, what if it doesn't make me money? Any celebrity who's been through something, I think about the people like Tyler Perry, who was homeless, Steve Harvey was homeless, Ricky Smiley, he talks about his struggle, but they always say like, pursue the dream, the money will come. And that is true. You can't be so caught up in the money. And I know it's hard because we live in a society that's driven by money. It's everywhere, but you have to watch what goes into your eye and your ear gates. You have to listen to motivational speech. You have to like get into a circle that promotes you and that supports you and that tells you to chase your dreams. Like you may not be doing what you want to do right now, but do what you have to do up until you can do what you want to do. What I have to do is hair, but what I want to do full time is write, like speak, coach, all of that kind of stuff, right? And so I'll just give you a tip. Like, one big thing you can do is go to Google or go to YouTube. It's so much free information. It's so much free information. You don't have to pay a coach to take the first step. You don't. All that free information online, go get it. If you want to do something and you don't know how to do it, go Google it. Once you Google, you look at some blogs or some articles. Then go to YouTube and type in what you want to do. Some people doing what you want to do gonna tell you. And don't get in your mind about the whole, well, everybody's doing it. When you go down the bread aisle, how many types of bread are there? Do you think the last person who made their bread was worried about the other breads on that aisle? They were not, because they still in the store and they still getting bought. Go down the water aisle. Water free. Well, we pay monthly for the water, but we could really just go in the fridge, go in the kitchen, put it in a Brita filter, and get it. But instead, we go buy bottled water. How many brands of bottled water are there? Several. But it didn't stop the last person from making it. Uber was Uber. It was Uber. Lyft said, I'ma be Lyft. Like, stop psyching yourself out. It starts with your mental. Tell yourself, I can do this. You can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to, right? So I'm recently coming out of a season. Like, if y'all notice, like if y'all have been following my blog for a minute, I have spurts where like I'll post a whole lot and then I'll fall off. And then I'll come back a few months later and I'll post and I'll fall off. The reason I do that is because I get burnt out. And I was just in this heavy season of discouragement. Literally have been there for like since 2018 to like literally coming out this year. I'm just coming out of that heaviness because I had to practice major gratitude. Like, I had to really dig myself up out of that pit, out of that hole. And I started to look at, I literally had kind of given up secretly. I secretly gave up on making this my full-time thing, making this my end-all be-all. I had secretly given up. I didn't tell nobody, but I told my mind. And so I started trying to move to do other things. The thing about me is I'm a hustler. My work ethic is crazy. I'm really smart and I could do anything I want to do. Like, if you were to see my resume or think about like, or see all the jobs that I've done, I've pretty much done like almost everything except like be a doctor or like a scientist or something like that. But like, I've done like a lot of stuff because I'm good at a lot of things. I can do a lot of things. So anything I wanted to do, I could just start doing it today. I could do something that's more practical than this, because the hard thing about this is there's no roadmap. Like, for example, if you want to be an accountant, you go to school, you go get a job at entry level and you work your way up. But with this, you don't know. You just don't know. Now you can add skills to yourself. Like, you can become a better writer. You can become better at marketing. You can read books on becoming better at your mindset. You can read books on budgeting and how to build a business and all of those things. But you just never know the formula to success, because there is no set formula to any of this. You just have to do it. But I know one thing, you won't be successful if you don't start. So you got to start. Like, starting should be your thing. So again, today's episode is, this is your sign to chase your dreams. Okay? You got to do it. No more excuses. Stop the procrastination. Start small. Don't tell yourself, I know you're talking about, oh, well, I can't do it, I ain't got no time. Give yourself, even if you got to start doing 15 minutes every day for a week, like in your weekdays. So you do 15 minutes on Monday, 15 minutes on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 15 minutes every single day. And then once you get in a groove, start doing 30 minutes. And this could just be research. And then once you research, then you start actually putting pedal to the metal, trying to figure out like, okay, what's step 1? Too many times we psych ourselves out because we feel like we need step 1 through 10. You don't. A lot of people overplan themselves into procrastination. You have sat there for months and made a plan and you ain't moved on it because you have analysis paralysis. You done consumed so much information that now you don't want to do nothing with it because you done burnt yourself out with information. No. Consume as much information as you need to take step one. Then take step one. Once step one is done, go find information for step two. Then take step two. It's really that simple. It is really that simple. And listen, you was talking to someone who, by literally God's grace, I've been self-employed since 2016. I don't know how I managed to do it. It's nothing but manna from heaven, but I'm still chasing my dreams. And literally, I've been secretly quitting. And when I tried to secretly quit, I told myself that I was going to be a freelance writer instead because that made more sense, and I was going to write for tech companies. So I started interviewing and I started like building my resume, and I was actually getting a lot of I was making a lot of ground. I was going on interviews, virtual interviews, and I was really like getting out there for real. And I was kind of shocked. But then I started fasting, and then God was like, haha, I did that so you can be skilled in something I needed you to use for your blog, but you're not going back full time. And I'm just like, it's not fair. But the thing was, I was more focused on getting out of my wilderness season instead of going into God's will, which was the promised land. God has already predestined a promised land for me. I've seen a glimpse of it. I've written it down in all types of journals. Like, I want to be this full time. I want to make this amount of money. I know I'm going to be here. But I had low key given up because I was just tired of feeling like I was stuck in the same place. But when I went to that fast, I went through the fast and I started to be more skilled, and I started to write more again. And I started to like put myself in a position to be a writer full time. I'm thinking I'm doing this so I can be a writer for tech companies because that makes more sense. That makes more money instantly or sooner. It's more instant gratification. But God was like, no, you're using that. You're still going to write. You're still going to work hard. You're still going to use all the things that you've learned, but you're just going to put it towards Single Woman Chronicles. And I was like, I don't want that plan. I don't like that plan. That plan sounds like I got to wait longer. And maybe it does. I don't know. I'm in the middle of it. But I'm just like, I have to be obedient to God because he's kept me this far. So I'm just going to keep chasing my dreams. Now, I can't wait till the moment where I get back on here and I can tell y'all, listen, I done made it to the promised land. Y'all don't even understand. I'm out here, but I'm not there yet. So I can speak from a place of still in the in-between, because when the promise is spoken till you actually reach the promise, there's this huge gap in between that. There's a gap. Huge gap. And I've been in this gap for a while, but I've been still fighting. Like, you're not successful you're not a failure until you quit, right? You're still successful if you're still making your way towards that promised land, towards that dream. So again, this is your sign to chase your dreams. And again, yes, it's hard. But staying where you are and not chasing it and being depressed or sad because you can't experience that, that's hard too. And listen, society right now, I don't know what this is. It's bothering me. It's white stuff. Okay. Society right now, that's why a lot of times you have to get off of social media. You have to take social media breaks because comparison is a thief of joy. And when you get on there, everybody's life seems to be better than yours. Everyone seems to have more money than you. Everybody seems to be prettier than you. Their waist seems to be smaller than yours. All of these things, all of those things, right? That's why you got to get off, because that world is not 100% true. You don't know. You don't know what these people are going through. And some of it is true, but still, you don't know what they had to go through to get here, right? So you want to get off of that. You want to stop believing the hype. You want to stop believing overnight success stories. You want to stop believing in these folks that tell you can make $100,000 in 30 days. I'm not saying you can't, but I'm saying that's an exception of the rule. And they probably done did a whole bunch of other stuff before they got to this point, and they've nailed down their strategy and scaled up. I'm pretty sure when they first started, they weren't making 100,000 in 30 days. They was probably making 1,000 in 30 days or 500 in 30 days, and they just learned how to scale that. So you have to stop believing the hype. Start at your ground zero and celebrate yourself at every single step. So something that happened to me last weekend that was fresh, And I wanted to talk about it, but again, something else fresh happened, and it was trying to distract me. That's why I got all drained last week about these folks out here, right? But anyway, I went out on Friday. First, I went to a happy hour, and I was in the bathroom washing my hands, and a girl walked in, and she's like, "I have your book," and I'm like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Yeah, I know you. I have your book, your How to X Your Ex book. I like it." And I'm just kind of like, what? So I'm kind of like, okay, thank you. That made my night. Like, I'm kind of in shock, right? So I'm feeling good about that. So I go home and I end up going out later. So I went to a happy hour. I came home, changed, and I went out to this lounge. And so I'm at the lounge and I see a promoter that I know because I used to be a bottle waitress back in the day. But I left that in like 2014, I think. So I've been out the game for a minute. So I see him and he's like talking to me in front of one of the waitresses. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, this is Ashley. She left us a minute ago. You know, she done moved on up to do better things. And, you know, she got out, she survived." And he's saying this because when you make fast money, when you're in the waitress, like in the hospitality industry, like if you're a bartender, you're a waitress, like, you know, in those kinds of jobs, you make so much money, fast money, it's hard to leave because you become addicted to that lifestyle. So when somebody transitions out, it is kind of like, dang, they made it out. They're doing other things. They seem happy. It's a good thing. So he was saying this in front of the like another waitress. And her comment was like, dang, I wish somebody would tell me this. So I'm saying that to say, like, you never know who's watching. You never know who's inspired by you. You never know who's paying attention and looking to you to be their guide, to be their inspiration. So this is your sign to chase your dreams. This is it. Today, right now, this is your sign to chase your dreams. Stop making excuses. Stop telling yourself you can't do it. Stop telling yourself you can't afford it. What's in your hands right now? Like me even recording this podcast every week, I promised myself that I wasn't stopping until I hit 100 episodes. And I've been wanting to quit, but I'm not stopping until I hit 100 episodes. And by 100 episodes, I hope that by then I have a bigger studio. I have, you know, people working for me, equipment, cameras, and all that. But I wasn't going to let production stop me. I'm sitting on my couch with a cute little background and 2 pillows and a computer. I don't have no special guests. I don't have no fancy cameras. No, I got a ring light and my computer. Okay? Stop letting stuff, use what's in your hands. Stop letting stuff stop you. Stop procrastinating. Stop talking yourself out. Stop saying you're not worthy or you can't. You can. Just take the first step. Today, I'm challenging you to take the first step. That's it. That's it. That's all. Take the first step. Take step 1. Strategize. That's it. I'm telling you, it's not that hard. Like, it's really not that hard. And so, even now, like, I'm planning this thing that God has been putting on me. I want to do like a challenge to help women who are, I really want to help all women. You ain't got to be single, but because most of my audience is single, hence Single Woman Chronicles, like, I really want to do a challenge where I help people take the first step. Like, I want you to take the first step. Let me help you. Let's do this together. Let's have a team. Let's have a 30-day challenge. At the end, we have a big celebration. Within the challenge, we have goals, we have journals, we writing stuff down, we overcoming stuff. I'm opening up my coaching again because I really don't push it like I should, but I'm really good at helping people figure out their strategy, figure out their plan, simplify their thoughts, because I think a lot of the times we get in our way because we have so many thoughts that we can't simplify them. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all you got to do. Put it on paper, write it down, make it plain. That's biblical. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Just take the step. I'm telling you, it's not that earth shattering. It's really easy. Just take the step. And I pray that your journey is not as long of a wait as mine, because not everyone's is. Some people's is way shorter, especially depending on what you want to do. Mine, because I went through the depression, because I battled that, I elongated mine, I believe, because I lost hope. Like, I lost belief within myself, but now I got it back, so I'm back. Okay? But yeah, just take step 1. And if you've been chasing your dreams and you kind of secretly gave up like I did, this is your sign to start again. This is your sign to take 30 days to meditate, to listen to sermons, to listen to motivational speech, I listen to dang, why I can't think of his name. I listen to Lisa Nichols. Steve Harvey is really great at motivational speak. Les Brown, that's who I was thinking about. He's really amazing. Jim Rohn, really amazing. Like, listen to these people. Start your day with 15 minutes of this. It's on YouTube. It is free. Like, listen to it because it starts here. It starts with your mind. Your mind shapes your life. You gotta get it. I know it's cliche, but it's so real. And gratefulness. Practice gratitude even when you don't feel like it. What I've learned, because I'm not grateful by character because I didn't grow up as a grateful person just because it wasn't modeled to me. Being grateful is something you have to develop. It's a muscle. And you don't do it when you feel like it. You do it most of the time because you don't feel like it. Because once you do it, then you feel grateful. Too many people think I need to practice gratefulness when I feel grateful. No, you practice gratefulness in order to feel grateful. That's what I've been learning. Okay? Because 9 times out of 10, when you wake up in the morning, you ain't gonna feel it until you've built that muscle. So I've been building that muscle. So again, this is your sign to chase your dreams. Hope I help somebody. If y'all need help making a plan, if y'all want to do a coaching session with me, reach out, email me, info@singlewomanchronicles.com, slide in the DMs, do what you need to do. But no more excuses. We are taking step one. Okay? Okay? Okay.